Who are you?
I am Andre 3000 Benjamin. Andre Benjamin first. That's what my mom named me. 3000 was my invention.
Andre 3000, welcome to Camp Flog.
Nah,
Nah.
yeah,
And right
the
off
nah.
and right off the bat, I have a gift for you, a Haida and Paul Horn
Paul
record.
Horn, let's go. Haida, it's the whale.
The Whale
Oh man, I read a whole book on whale called
from
Voices in the
Sealand
Ocean.
from Sealand of the Pacific.
That's beautiful, man. Thank you. This is an awesome gift. Thank you.
What can you
Paul
say
Horn is
about Paul Horn and playing flute to
Well,
animals?
you know what I want to say because people have called New Blue Sun is the flute album. New Blue Sun is more than a flute album. I do play flutes on there, but Paul Horn is an actual flute player. So if you want to look up a flute album, Paul Horn is the guy. Yeah, yeah.
And what type of flute is he playing now? You have like 70 different flutes. You have quite a few, don't
I
you?
do. I do. Most of them are wooden or bamboo. Paul Horn is playing a classical concert flute, which I just invested in one, but it's not my gig. I'm learning to play classical. Well, actually, I'm getting one made to play straight because I don't like to do this. Yeah.
When I initially presented it to you, you said you read a book or there's something you mentioned about that.
Yeah, about dolphins and whales. Voices in the Ocean is this the book.
And how was that? What did you learn?
That dolphins are super smart. You know, their brains are much larger than ours, so they kind of can tap into something that we don't know, and we're studying them, trying to figure out, what that is. But yeah, dolphins are really smart, really compassionate, very conniving, very sexual. Yeah, they're awesome.
And that there is a gift for you. Haida and Paul Horn from 1972.
You don't understand how awesome this is. This is, yeah, this is the best gift I've gotten in so long, man.
No problem. From Oak Bay, British Columbia, Canada. Canadian content.
Oh, beautiful. Thank you.
And speaking of Canadian content, I also have another gift for you. Walter Zuber Armstrong, a Vancouver flute legend.
Okay, I'm not familiar. Thank you for turning me on.
And it's signed as well.
Ooh, 1975. That's my year. I was born in 75.
Amazing.
Hot damn. Yeah, there it is.
What can you say about all the different cultures that have flutes? Like everywhere there's flutes.
All of them. Every culture has a flute. Flute is the first sounding like tonal instrument. Drums first, then flutes. That was the first time we heard notes. Think about that. Like the very first instrument before guitars, pianos, all the other stuff came flutes. So it's kind of something very primal about it that I like. And every culture has them. Every culture. Hey man, he got the gifts today. Let's go.
I was curious though, Bobby Humphrey.
Oh yeah, for
What
sure.
can you say about Bobby Humphrey?
Just awesomeness. I mean, just super awesomeness. Like when I started, the cool thing about playing flute now is, of course, you discover all these kind of different flutes from different cultures. You asked about how many flutes I have. I have Chinese flutes. I have Thai flutes from Thailand, but I also get to meet new flute players and get to discover older players that I didn't know who they were. They just like, oh, you heard this cool sound. But yeah, Bobby Humphrey has always kind of been in like my mom's music. My dad listened to Bobby Humphrey, so yeah,
That's a classic from 1973.
before I was born. This is awesome.
When did you first become aware of Bobby Humphrey?
Musically, maybe 19 years old or 20 years old. I didn't know that Bobby Humphrey was actually a woman until maybe like 5 years ago, 5 to 7 years ago.
Thank you, Mike D.
Yeah, thank you, Mike D. He's a part of it, for sure.
What exactly did Mike D do?
Well, actually,
He led you to?
actually, I was in Air One, which is a store here in Cali, and I'm checking out. I'm checking out my grocery, and Mike D comes up, and we have a conversation, and we're talking about what's going on. Then Carlos Nino comes up, and Mike D knows Carlos Nino. Carlos Nino plays in the band. Carlos Nino of many great albums, Carlos Nino and Friends. I met him, and he invited me to come play in his house and at shows, and we built a relationship from there, like from Carlos's garage studio, and we just started playing. And I had interest. I knew I wanted to record, a album based where it was flute forward or wind forward, and Carlos knew how to do it because he'd been doing it. So yeah.
Carlos is also a producer, right?
Yeah, for sure. He's one of the best. Yes.
And interesting enough, and another gift for you right here, he produced Sun Ra, believe it or not. This is not the record he produced, but this is a gift for you from Sun Ra live in '66. Did he ever tell you about Sun Ra?
Oh, I knew about Sun Ra. Yeah, when I was a kid, you would find old Outcast photos where I have Sun Ra shirt on. Yeah, I've known about Sun Ra for a long time. Trivia too. The video for Prototype, if you from our album Speakerbox Love Below, Prototype is a homage to Sun Ra, his film Spaces to Place. Another tidbit: the other night, we played with Marshall Allen. Marshall Allen is the oldest surviving member of Sun Ra.
He's really old, like
He's
98 or 100?
100 years old, and he came out and played with us, and it was awesome because he was digging in, like very exciting, like energy. Yeah, I loved it for sure.
Did Carlos say anything about Sun Ra? Because I think Carlos worked with him, produced him.
Yeah, well, Sun Ra is kind of like he's legend, you know. So we always reference Sun Ra because what we're doing now is a lineage of this type of music, you know. And Sun Ra, of course, they're kind of like the forefathers of what we do now.
Where did you first meet Tyler the Creator? Like here we are at Camp Flog now. Was it at Coachella?
Yes, you're right, man. You digging in. Yes, I met him backstage when we were about to go on during the Outkast tour, and he came in my dressing room. But I knew about him from before. Like I think I talked to him on the phone first before I actually met him. Yeah.
What's it like playing Camp Flog now? Like you've done many fests. What's it like playing here?
It's fun. You know, I'm a supporter of Tyler, man. Like I think he has a certain energy and attracts a certain energy. So I'm happy to kind of support that, you know. Yeah, I'm happy that he gave us the chance to play. You know, it's kind of like we're playing this instrumental music at this festival with all these youngins, you know, and they were with it.
What about the Souls of Mischief?
Souls of Mischief, man. They meant a lot for us in our kind of schooling of music. And, you know, when me and Big started rapping, Souls of Mischief, Tribe Called Quest, Hobo Junction Crew, Casual. A lot of people don't say Casual enough.
Yeah.
But yeah, they were like huge for us.
Andre, I wanted to ask you about a whole bunch of bands and crews from Atlanta. Here we go right here with Escape. Right?
Yeah, okay.
There's a connection, isn't there?
Of course, Escape. They're from Atlanta. They went to our high school, actually, the same high school that me and Big Boy went to. Yeah, same neighborhood. You know, I went to Frank McLaren Alternative School, which was right next to College Park Projects, they lived there. Yeah.
And underneath it, we have...
Yeah, Silk Times Leather. Yeah, Silk Time Leather. I think that's Jermaine Dupri's group back in the day.
One of the first bands, in fact, the first, I think, from Atlanta, from a rap persuasion, to sign to a major label.
Oh, really? I didn't know that. Nice. That's something I didn't know. Yeah.
Like what's that, the Mr. Turner era?
Mr. Turner?
The Tri-Cities High School era?
Oh, yeah. Actually, I think this was maybe before that even. Yeah. And I didn't know a lot about Silk Times Leather, but Kilo was our kind of like...
Kilo Ali.
Yeah, Kilo Ali. That was the first kind of Atlanta rapper that I knew, and the Hard Boys. And Damage, Success, and Effect. Like those were people that we were into.
Yeah, actually, that's what I was gonna mention right underneath.
Hey, that is. Hey.
What can you say about Success and Effect?
Yeah, like in Atlanta, man. Like these were kind of like we were kind of in a time where we were trying to find our own self. So you had New York banging, you had the West Coast banging, and I think Atlanta was kind of in that. We were kind of caught in the middle of Miami bass and like New York beat and West Coast production. So we were trying to find our own self. So these were our first kind of like entries into rap music. So yeah.
Speaking of Miami bass and old school, we have MC Shy D.
Hey, yeah, in Atlanta. In Atlanta. Yeah, MC Shy D was tough for us. He's actually from New York. New York moved down to Atlanta and started making music and made a song called In Atlanta. But he was definitely an A-Town representative early. Yeah.
From 1988.
Yeah, man.
And right underneath it, the Hard Boys, who we mentioned earlier from 91.
Yeah, the Hard Boys, yeah.
What were they like?
They were hard. They was kind of like our NWA, like back then it was just gangster shit everywhere, man. And they were kind of like our gangster rap group.
And I was curious, Andre, if you could open this package right here, what exactly is going on here? And could you describe this to the people out there?
Yeah.
Is it a rare item?
I don't know if it's rare, but it is a figurine of myself during a certain era. This is called like the white wig era. Picasso got like a blue.
Oh, be careful, we had to re-glue it because it fell apart. That's why the bubble wrap happened. But you're welcome to break it.
No, I don't want to break it.
Have you actually ever broken your arm, just out of curiosity?
No, I've never broken a bone in my body.
Touch wood.
Yeah.
Nard Hut. This is the Nard Hut.
Okay, the Nard Hut.
Yeah.
All right, cool. Yeah, this is from a certain era. And I used to wear ski boots because I thought they looked space agey. And I used to wear them on stage. Like, they were very heavy, and I used to move around on stage with these heavy-ass ski boots on. A lot of fun, though. Yeah. They got the mole. Sometimes they don't be getting the mole, and they be looking like just a whole nother nigga who, I don't know who it is, but yeah, they got it right this time.
What's interesting is you had a grenade. You had like a grenade for bombs over Baghdad, a promo item. Do you remember that? It was filled with candy.
I don't remember that. No, I don't.
Do you remember promo items for the Outcasts? There was like a grenade.
I do remember promo items, but I don't remember a grenade. But I used to throw fake grenades on stage during the performance. Like I would throw them in the crowd.
Oh, okay. So maybe it's related to that.
I don't know. Maybe.
What was the reaction when you threw the grenades?
Well, I would give my own reaction, so I would like, and I would fall out, like that was kind of like my fun, just a lot of fun on stage.
And speaking of legends from Atlanta, a Vibe magazine on the cover.
Ooh, Vibe, yeah, this is TLC.
And that's another group that kind of ties into the Outcasts, right?
Yeah, very early on, like our production crew, Organized Noise, they were introduced, Organized Noise was introduced to Pebbles. So that was kind of our entryway that got them to pay attention to us.
It was like your first appearance was like on a remix?
Yeah, we were actually on a remix of...
What About Your Friends, I think was the remix.
That's right. You're right. Yeah, you're right. Yeah.
From Atlanta, TLC.
Yeah, from Atlanta, for sure.
Lastly, another Atlanta crew, Javier and the Straight Jackers.
Yeah.
With Jermaine Dupri.
It's funny. I remember this, but I always thought it was the Straight Jackets. So you telling me something that I didn't know. Yeah, Javier and the Straight Jackets. Like, I actually don't know this music, but I remember this group. Yeah, Jermaine, there you go. Jermaine been in it for a minute, man. Like, he's been, I think, even back to Houdini. Another tidbit, like, I think, like, when I was a child, like a baby, Jermaine's dad used to live in the same apartments that my dad lived in, and I think we actually played together as little kids. That's what my dad, I think Jermaine, and I think he remembers that or something like that. But yeah, in New Dimensions in Atlanta, and yeah, College Park. Yeah.
And you were Andre
3000.
Andre 3000.
3000, yeah.
What about the Class of 3000 cartoon that you did?
Class of 3000, yeah, it was an animated show on Cartoon Network. And here's another tidbit, since we're at Flog, Gnaw. My very first conversation with Tyler, we were on the phone, and he said, "I know all the songs from Class of 3000." That was what he told me, and I was like, "Whoa, for real? You remember those songs?" He's like, "Yeah, that's Tyler. He knows music, man."
What was it like doing a cartoon now? Was it hard?
No, it was a lot of fun. We got to do songs every episode. We got to voice these characters. I actually watched some of them the other day. And we're hoping to do something new with it in some type of way. So, yeah, stay tuned.
Thank you, Oboe Day.
Yes, Oboe Day. How do you know about Oboe Day?
Oh, you are under 3000. We have to know.
There it is. So, Oboe Day is a day, like, I lived in New York, and I would go to the new school, which is music school in New York, and I would look at their calendar just to see, what the students are doing that night, what recitals, what performances, And for some reason, I was listening to a recording of someone playing an oboe, and I wanted to try an oboe. So I saw on the calendar that they had Oboe Day. Oboe Day is kind of like a day where oboe players come and they do recitals, and they also sell oboes. It's like a small little festival. And I bought an oboe from Oboe Day, and yeah, I started picking it up and playing it. So I've always been interested in wind instruments. But yeah, Oboe Day, yeah, I met a few players at Oboe Day as well.
Very important.
Yeah, very important for sure.
KP the Great.
Yeah, KP the Great. KP the Great. KP been around like he was in a group called PA, if Parental Advisory. But even before that, we went to the same high school. We went to Tri-Cities, the same high school that Escape went to. Yeah, KP the Great.
Chucky Meadows.
Chucky Meadows. Whoa. Chucky Meadows, he went to Sutton Middle School. Sutton Middle School. Chucky was one of my homies back at Sutton. Yeah.
Big Gip.
Big Gip, 1/4 of the Goody Mob.
Again, the connection between Outkast.
Yeah, for sure. Goody Mob is Dungeon Family all day, like it was us in the dungeon. Outkast, PA, Goody Mob, all of us, OMP, all in one spot. Yeah.
Did you ever see Future, a very young Future in a dungeon?
Yes, the mansion dungeon. Future used to come around, but I at that point I moved to LA, so I didn't spend a lot of time at that dungeon. So that was at a point when Future, Boulevard, and Rico Wade, they were in a group called a Connect. But yeah, I moved to Cali by then, so I didn't spend a lot of time during the early Future days. But I met him a couple times.
You've been spotted playing flute everywhere, including like back of cabs, etc. How do you not get car sick? What are the tips?
Yeah, I don't get car sick. I just don't. I don't know. My stomach built different. I don't know.
But some people do, like I do.
Yeah, like some people, if you're looking down at your phone, the equilibrium, you lose it. I don't get car sick. And to pass the time when I'm in the back of a cab or Uber, I'll play flute a lot of times. You know, it's kind of, I just like to play whenever I can. So that's just a good time. When you're waiting on your coffee to be made or standing in line or whatever. It's a portable instrument. You can just take it anywhere.
And I love that you get suggestions from like cab drivers, etc.
Yes. It's kind of like a schooling, because once you start with one flute, I may hop in a cab with a Arabian guy, and he may say, well, have you ever tried the Ney flute? Which I'd never heard of a Ney flute. And so at that point, I'm Googling, well, what is a Ney flute? And then I go out and get me a Ney flute. Shakuhachi, same thing. So it's kind of like, depending on the nationality of the driver, they'll turn you on to flutes of their culture, which is kind of cool. So you're kind of getting a schooling in the back of your Uber car or taxi, whatever.
Andre, anything else you'd like to add to the people out there at all?
No, maybe go get your teeth cleaned. Yeah, teeth health is important. Teeth health is everything, because if you can't eat, if you can't chew, you can't survive. So keep your teeth healthy.
Why should people care about Andre 3000? Why should people care?
I'm not sure if they should care about me by myself, but I'm just a human, like them. So if there's anything that I'm doing of interest, then care. If I don't spark any interest, if I don't like turn you on in no kind of way, don't care. Simple as that.
Well, thanks so much, Andre 3000. Keep on rocking in the free world, and Doot do.
Fine.
Yeah!
All right. Thank you, man. Oh. That's section red. I gotta go, man.